Okay, let's dive right in. A highly specific, honestly pretty exciting job description just dropped on the Cosmic Lottie jobs portal. We're looking at an opening for a quality engineer, specifically a Selenium Specialist. Now, if you're already in the software testing space, you know how absolutely crucial this is. And it looks like Cosmic Lottie wants someone to truly step up and own their quality lifecycle. So, the big question driving us today, are you Cosmic Latte's next quality engineer? We're going to figure out if you've got what it takes to actually land this Selenium Specialist role based out of Bengaluru. We'll unpack the exact requirements, the day-to-day expectations, and the specific skill sets you need to have totally dialed in before you even think about hitting that apply button or prepping for the interview. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Decoding the quality engineer. 2. Your daily testing mission. 3. Mastering the tech stack. And 4. The professional applicant checklist. Let's get right to it.
Section 1. Decoding the quality engineer.
You know, this really reframes the traditional idea of QA. You aren't just sitting at the end of some assembly line trying to catch bugs at the last minute. Cosmic Latte is actually positioning you as a key player enabling full-stack solutions. You'll be involved in multidisciplinary team planning right from the start, taking charge of ecosystem integration. Basically, you're making sure all the different components of the dev environment talk to each other seamlessly. Ultimately, your core objective here is to accelerate software delivery. You're driving quality across the entire application lifecycle rather than acting as a roadblock. A really critical part of achieving that acceleration is mastering continuous testing. Think of it like building an invisible safety net. You'll be executing continuous cycles focused on security, progression, and APIs, making sure all the different software systems talk to each other safely. You aren't just clicking around manually. You're building these safety nets that run constantly to catch vulnerabilities or broken integrations long before they ever reach a production environment. This continuous feedback loop, that's the engine for their continuous improvement process. Moving on to Section 2, your daily testing mission. So, what does your actual day look like? Well, based on the job description, it's highly dynamic. Your morning typically starts with cross-functional ecosystem planning. So, coordinating with diverse disciplines to align on what exactly needs to be built and how it's going to be tested. Then, moving into midday, you transition into the actual execution, running those continuous testing cycles we talked about and maintaining your automation frameworks. Finally, you wrap up your workflow in the afternoon by actively participating in code reviews, tracking outputs, and reporting defects. You're fully engaged in the end-to-end process every single day. Here's the thing. Cosmic Latte is definitely not looking for someone who needs their hand held. The profile clearly states you are expected to perform independently and become an SME, a subject matter expert. They want you to hit the ground running, take full ownership of your tasks, and really quickly establish yourself as the absolute go-to authority on Selenium and testing frameworks for your team. But actually, scratch that. It's not just about flying solo. It's totally a balancing act. On one hand, sure, as that independent expert, you're expected to mentor junior team members, improve testing methodologies, and provide concrete solutions. But on the other hand, you can't be an isolated genius. You must be a highly collaborative player. You'll be actively participating in team discussions and working with cross-functional teams to make sure your testing strategies perfectly align with broader project goals. You really have to be brilliant on your own, but incredibly effective in a group. All right, Section 3, Mastering the Tech Stack. If you're wondering what to prep for the interview, your technical toolkit needs to be incredibly sharp and multifaceted. Under core frameworks, Selenium is absolutely the undisputed king here, supported by a strong knowledge of related scripting languages. But just knowing Selenium isn't enough anymore. You need deep familiarity with CI/CD pipelines, alongside broader SDLC, software development lifecycle best practices. And finally, you need actionable skills, the ability to analyze and troubleshoot complex issues, and the architectural mindset to actually design and implement automation strategies from scratch. To expand on that a bit, here are your core tech responsibilities. And listen, you aren't just maintaining someone else's legacy code. No way. You are tasked with creating the automation strategy itself. You'll be building the automated scripts, handling the messy behind-the-scenes work of supporting data and environment configurations, and continuously maintaining and evolving those frameworks so they don't become obsolete as the product scales. It's a highly technical, super proactive set of responsibilities. And that brings us to Section 4, the professional applicant checklist. 3, that is the magic number here. Cosmic Latte requires a strict minimum of 3 years of professional, hands-on experience working specifically with Selenium.
They're looking for someone with a proven, battle-tested track record, not just someone who finished a weekend coding boot camp.
Furthermore, the number 15 is literally just as important. The job description strictly requires exactly 15 years of full-time education on your profile. No more, no less. It's a hard HR gate, which essentially translates to a standard bachelor's degree, so you'll absolutely want to make sure your resume math adds up before you submit that application.
Also, keep the location requirement in mind. This is not a remote gig, and it's not a hybrid, work from anywhere kind of deal. The source is super explicit. This position is based squarely in their Bengaluru office. You need to be ready to collaborate in person with those diverse cross-functional teams we talked about earlier. So look at the whole picture. 3 years of Selenium expertise, 15 years of education, and the drive to thrive in a cross-functional Bangalore team. It really begs a bigger question about our industry right now. As automation continues to accelerate software delivery at this breakneck pace, are traditional manual testers becoming a thing of the past, replaced entirely by these highly strategic quality engineers? If you fit this modern mold, Cosmic Latte is waiting for you. Thanks for joining this explainer, and we'll see you in the next one.